Welcome back to Ballroom Feed. This is Technique Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about leading a rotating box in Rumba. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to assume you already kind of know how to do a box, right? In everybody, we can do a box flat or straight. But ideally, and this does look a lot better and more advanced if I can rotate this box around, and it'll rotate around to the left, right? So how I'm doing this comfortably is it's really on the leader. The follower is not responsible for when to rotate or how much to rotate this box at all. It's completely up to me and my body to rotate this around. So the most important thing first from the leader's perspective is I need to be able to do this by myself. If I've never ever rotated a box on my own and the first time I do it is holding on to somebody, it's going to be uncomfortable for both of you. So I myself need to be able to do the box step on my own. That's the obvious one, right? I have to be able to rotate this box by myself confidently that I can do this continuously. Because if you can do this, it's very easy to do with somebody else, but so often we try to do it first with somebody else in front of us, and there's other factors that make it much more difficult than it has to be, right? So really quick, how I do this on my own is when I take my forward step, really simply, I'm gonna rotate my body a little bit to the left. So you can see my foot might curve a little bit, but really I'm just trying to go forward, and then my shoulders, my frame is gonna rotate to the left a little bit, and then I get to go side together. And then when I go backwards, I continue rotating my body, my frame, side together. So as long as my body, my shoulders, my frame continuously kind of rotate to the left here, it's gonna work out, and it's more through my body than it is through my feet. So what I'm not doing is curving a lot with my foot on its own, because she doesn't feel your feet, she feels your body and your frame. So my frame needs to move and rotate, and then she'll feel that and move with me, regardless really of the direction my feet move in, right? If I'm really struggling, usually it's because we forget to close our feet all the way together, and we just kind of start to walk around in random places. And the other thing that can help is I want to keep looking to my left to help me turn to my left if I'm still kind of struggling. All right, so now we're doing this together. I've already successfully rotated this box on my own. We take this dance position. I'm left aligned of her, which is very important as I go forward, and my upper body turns, and she feels that right away.
Okay, so as Chris mentioned, the upper body is definitely going to be the leading force. However, the lower body, we do want to keep consistent, so we actually keep track of our steps when we are doing our footwork. It gets really confusing when we start rotating of when you take a forward step or a side step and vice versa. This is for both the leader and the follower, by the way. So what I suggest is making sure that you're taking forward steps, even though you are curving them, of course, and not side steps, and that can get very easy to do. So if Chris were to do a side step instead of a forward step, now it starts to get a little ambiguous for both me and my leader. So now he might not know whether he was supposed to take a forward step or a side step, of where he is in the box, and it's less clear for your partner and the direction he would like me to go in. So make sure you are taking a forward side together instead of like a weird side step and then trying to do a side together. Same thing for the follower. Tip number 2, actually, for the follower, is you really want to try to avoid like driving or helping him, let's say. Maybe in the beginning, if like he's really struggling and he'd like your help, then you could for sure help him a little bit, but I would suggest that you don't do that and that you just kind of hang out for the ride. And the way I do that as a follower is, say I'm learning my steps, I know I'm back, side together, back, side together, forward, side together. I don't think about any rotation. I'm thinking about the direction of my steps, so I keep track of where I am. Because just as easily the follower can get lost in the box step when we start rotating it. So I just say my step direction as I'm rotating. And that usually helps us stay pretty connected.
Yeah, it's difficult to help them because let's say I want to stop rotating the basic and do something else, you know? So that gets really difficult.
You can only have one driver. That's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can do it by yourself, you're probably gonna be able to do it together. You kind of ignore her and you move yourself, and she feels that. I don't have to push or put her out in front of myself and do anything to make her turn and rotate. I just am moving myself, and she'll feel that. And you can start with a very gradual rotation as well at the beginning. Also, one last thing I can do is I can just rotate when I go forward. It's sometimes easier. So when I go forward, I can do the rotation and then just do a flat box. And I can rotate again going forward. Ideally, you do it both times when you go forward and backwards. And we have a nice continuous rotation. And this just advances the dances a lot at the very beginning instead of just staying flat the entire time during this box step.
Yes. So I have one more tip, just if you're absolute beginner and the rotating the upper body thing maybe lost you. So basically the easiest way to think about it is just moving your whole body as a unit and bringing your partner with you. So oftentimes what will happen is, because you're going to feel some resistance from her because her job is to just wait for you. So you're going to feel natural resistance, hopefully nothing crazy, but I'm not going to turn right away. So he's going to have to put some energy into it and basically bring me with him. And I'm gonna hopefully keep this frame connected and not do anything weird. So basically, if he were to do this poorly, he's gonna take his step and just leave his upper body. Yes. So basically, you can see that he left his upper body where we were initially, but trying to change the direction with just the feet, like he said before. So instead of thinking of to do anything extra up here, it's really about just keeping her with you and trying to keep this frame consistent. So that's if you're an absolute beginner. If you're a little more advanced, you can start with the upper body rotation, and that's definitely going to make it easier for you too. But on a basic level, just bring her with you, but don't leave her behind.
Thank you so much for joining us on Technique Tuesday. Check out our website at ballroomfeed.com, and you can see a list of all of our episodes of Technique Tuesday. We also plug them into the individual dances that they relate to. Thank you so much. There's a bunch of free content there, and we'll see you next week.